Hello there, friends. This is Anya of Fitnessanyamind, and interesting things are happening. Okay, I apologize if it sounds like I'm speaking really low. I didn't bring my microphone because I'm out of town and I have a almost 4-year-old right across the hallway, so I want to keep my voice low. But I couldn't not talk to you tonight, and let me just explain why. To say that this chapter of my life is called the dumpster fire is being generous. I could not have foreseen or expected, prepared for any of those words for what came to pass since April, and to the fact that it was snowballing and coming to a head for the last 2+ years. I never would have seen myself in this current situation, and there's a level of pride that I've had to deal with that I didn't really know I had. When it comes to embarrassment about talking about my situation and needing so much help and having to ask for that help and then have to accept it gracefully and move on. It's been interesting. And one thing that I have realized over the last few weeks, couple months, mostly the last few weeks, is that things are shifting. Things are shifting. There are some things I've prayed for that haven't come to pass, and then there are other things I wouldn't even have thought to pray for that have, just boom, right in my face. And okay, I guess I need to be grateful for that and move on to that path. But one thing that has been very interesting is how easily I fall back into the same patterns that I was operating in previously. Quick example. My husband deployed in February of 2015. I was left to hold down the fort, keep the budget good, take care of the household, keep my job, take care of my health, which almost immediately, and do all that by myself, and then also maintain a marriage. And it, as much as you may work on something, things will happen, and you're just like, I was not prepared for that at all. And what ended up happening, for those of you that don't know, is my health took a tumble. I had 3 major surgeries while my husband was away. He came home, told me that he doesn't want to be married to me anymore, and then left. And now I'm going through some legal processes, and I'm left going, wow, what's next? One of the things I did often, very often, and for those military spouses out there who find yourselves doing this, I challenge you to stop. But I would stop having activities in the evening outside of home or away from my phone and privacy, because I was constantly, when is he gonna call? Maybe he'll call. Maybe he'll text me. Maybe I'm just gonna wait because I don't want to miss a call and make him think that I didn't want to talk to him. But I also don't want to miss a call because I want to talk to him. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn on Netflix. I'm gonna call it a night. Okay, so he didn't call that night or the next night or the night after that. And then I would text and, what's going on? And I miss you. We need to talk. I just want to have some time with you. And then I'll try tonight, and I'll try after 10. And then I wait, no call. Next day, no call. But the pattern that I developed for myself, it doesn't matter what other people do. It's what you do for yourself, the patterns you develop, the things you have control over. And what I had control over was to say, okay, he's off doing his own thing, and there are aspects of my life that I need to continue. For example, there are get-togethers at church that I want to go to, and friends at church that I want to connect with and become closer to. But you know what? I've put all those things on hold because I'm waiting for a daggone phone call, which, to be honest, if it came while I was out, I could have stopped what I was doing, stepped outside, had a phone conversation, and gone back inside. But I cut myself off from a lot of things because I felt that I had to wait, which made me almost entirely dependent upon this person who's away, and sometimes unable to call or text or whatever, and completely reliant on this person for social interaction. That's not okay. That's not okay. We are perfectly allowed to have lives, military spouses. We're allowed to do that. We're allowed to breathe. We're allowed to go out. We're allowed to hang out with our friends. We're allowed to have hobbies. We're allowed to have adventures and be alive, and not wait for that person to call, especially when they're not going to keep their word and call when they say they're going to call. For all you know, that's some type of an intentional gain, and you don't deserve that. But anyway, after my husband said that he no longer wanted to be married to me, with not really any kind of a good reason, I noticed that I was still hanging around my house waiting for my phone to ring. And there were a couple of times that I looked at my phone waiting for a text, and I thought to myself, well, he's not going to text me. Why would he? He doesn't want me anymore. So who am I waiting for a text from? Who am I waiting from a call from? What am I doing? There's so many adventures that I've said to myself, I'm going to do these things in 2017. I'm going to do these things before I'm 40. I'm going to make this dent in the world. I'm going to help these people. I'm going to feel energetic. I'm going to wake up excited about what's to come. I'm just not doing that. But why? I'll tell you why. Because when you're driving down a little 2-lane dirt road, or like a dirt road with 2 tracks, and your car wheels are in that track, and you're just going right along, every now and then you might turn your wheel to get out of those tracks, but you kind of settle right back into those tracks, and then you think to yourself, well, I'm not uncomfortable here. The ride is pretty smooth. I know what to expect. It's dry. I'm set. I'm just going to stay in these tracks until I reach my turnoff. And so you stay there. But here's the thing. You don't need to do that with your life. Those ruts, they're not safe. Those ruts don't get you anywhere. Those ruts mean that this gigantic field of wildflowers over to your left and that gorgeous shimmering pond over to your right, that means all of those things are now unavailable to you, because the only thing that you're allowing yourself is a continued journey in these little ruts that have you bound. You and I deserve better than that. And so something amazing is in the works, and I'm not sharing all the details yet because I'm sorting some things out, ironing some other things out, but I went to a tiny house expo today, on the heels of a couple of nights camping with some friends who are really my family, and I saw people who have taken hold of their dreams. They're friggin' white knuckling their dreams, wrestling them into submission and saying, boom, dream, I own you. We are doing this. No more excuses. No more nonsense. No more, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. People are going to judge me. I don't know how I'm going to look. None of it. None of it. They have these dreams and these goals, and they are just doing it. And if something gets a little bit rocky, they do their research, they make their phone calls, and they tame that dream back into submission, and then they just take it and they go. And you know what? I'm sick and tired of being the me that has allowed herself to be in a rut just because it's safe and it's known and it's comfortable. Really, it is not safe. And really, there are so many other things I know in my mind and in my heart, and there are so many other things that would make me so much more comfortable if I would stop with my daggone excuses, stop operating on autopilot, and get myself out of there. No more scrolling through my Instagram and double tapping people in Iceland. My plan is Iceland in 2018. No more scrolling through my feed and making comments like, wow, wish I could be there, living vicariously through you, send me pics, boom, done. Suck it up, Anya. If you want to get out there, you're going to do it. If you want to have pictures, do them like somebody else's, go out there, be at that place, take your pictures, frame that sucker on the wall, put it in your feed, and let somebody else double heart that because they don't want to put themselves out there and risk it. And risk it. I've been cast aside by someone who I committed to my heart, my soul to, who I made a covenant before God with, for basically a whim. A whim. And that is not my fault. But it is my fault if I stay where I am now. It is my fault if I allow myself to be bound to the rut that I drove myself into and remain here for the rest of my life, because then he wins and I get no life. So today was a step in that direction. It was a step to looking at something that I've thought about for a long time and realizing that I'm not too old And I'm not too busted. I'm busted. Let's just be honest about some things. I am busted on many levels, and the doctors don't even know what to do with me anymore. But I'm not done, and I'm not out. And if you are watching this video and you have endometriosis, fibromyalgia, cancer, migraines, arthritis, any other chronic pain, disease, or illness, lupus, you are dealing with something that there are days where you can do nothing but sit up in your bed to get food into your face, to lie back down. You're alive. You're alive. And if there's a rut that you have driven yourself into, you own it. Nobody drove you there. If there is a rut that you have driven yourself into and you are ready to get out of it, I beg you, find an expo, go to a conference, go to the library and get that big book, build a Pinterest board, do an internet search of that one thing that you're like, wow, I could get out of this, I could do one thing different. And watch how quickly the light comes back into your eyes and your heart starts pounding in a different way and you feel some fluttering and you feel like you're waking up with a purpose because you've just given yourself some homework to do to drive on towards that dream, that goal, that hope, that bucket list, if you need to call it that, whatever. I challenge you to do that because you deserve an adventure. You deserve it. So now I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to do a little bit searching on my computer. I'm going to start making my list of things that I need to do for this next step. And I'm going to fill you in on the way this is going because I cannot wait to share this with you. But in the meantime, have a fantastic evening. I pray that your week this week has a glimmer, a sparkle of adventure, and at least one thing that you do. Whether it's test driving that vehicle, taking a different route on your bus, stopping to smell those flowers, asking that lady out for coffee, inviting that guy to that sports team that he loves to watch, whatever. One thing to add some sparkle and glimmer and magic to this week of yours could change everything. I want that for you so badly, just as much as I want it for myself. So have a great night. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care of yourself. Bye.